Hey everyone, this is Travis Tressler at Play Tennis Gainesville, and I'm going to give you a game plan for an hour singles practice. So we'll talk a little bit about the warm-up, some drills you can do to help improve your singles game, talk about the serve and return, and then finally some games that'll help you improve your singles, some consistency stuff that's going to translate over to singles matches. One thing I want to make clear before we get started is to practice with a purpose. So it's very hard to do, but as soon as you get out there, find a way to get the most out of every single ball you're hitting. One, it'll improve your shots greatly if you have that focus. And two, it'll help your mental game being able to concentrate on every single ball, and that'll make you a stronger player as well. First thing we need to talk about is going to be a warm-up. So I would encourage you every single time you go out to play, arrive at the court 5 or 10 minutes early and stretch out to help prevent injury. Once you're ready to start hitting balls, I would recommend you start out with some mini tennis. So when we're doing mini tennis, we're going to start off on our service line there and try to rally back and forth with abbreviated swings. Don't just hit the ball mindlessly. Give yourself a target. Say, I'm not going to miss a single ball. I'm going to move my feet for every single shot. But start that practice off early with a purpose, and it's going to translate to the rest of the practice. Once we do mini tennis for about 1 or 2 minutes, we'll scoot back to the baseline with our practice partner here. Same thing, try to get as many balls in a row and really focus during this warm-up. Make it a little more extended here. Hit from the baseline for about 10 minutes. If just getting the ball in is too easy and you need to push yourself a little bit, challenge yourself to hit that ball past the service line deep in that court. That depth is going to be really critical when you start to play matches, and it'll make you a better player. Once we're done with our warm-up, the first drill I want to get into is going to be cross courts. So how this will work, have one player on the deuce side here, the other player be on the deuce side as well. All you're going to do is rally back and forth cross court there. So why is this important? When we're playing singles, we're going to be hitting the ball cross court most of the time. That's going to be our safest shot. The court is actually going to be a little bit longer when we hit cross court, and the net right in the middle here is going to be the lowest part, so it's the safest shot. Really try to push yourself to hit that ball on the outside stroke. So if I'm right-handed and I'm in the deuce court here, I'm going to try to hit all forehands. Likewise, if I'm a lefty in the deuce court, I'll try to hit all backhands. After we go for about 5 to 10 minutes on the deuce side, go ahead and slide over to that ad side and do the same thing. Now you're going to rally ad court to ad court, but get used to hitting that cross court ball and staying consistent on it. The next drill, after we get done hitting cross courts, is going to be hitting the ball down the line. So this is important because if we're just hitting the ball cross court the whole time, our opponent's going to pick up on it and they're going to start reading us really well. So we got to learn how to change direction and hit that ball down the line. So if I'm on this side here, I'll start on the deuce side. My partner will be on the ad side. So we'll be rallying straight ahead here, back and forth. Same thing, try to hit your outside shot. So if I'm hitting forehands and my partner's right-handed, he'll be hitting backhands back to me down the line. A few things. Remember, we talked about the net being lower on the cross court ball. When we hit it down the line, that's actually going to be the highest part of the net here. So we got to give ourselves plenty of height, lots of margin for error on these shots. Also, the court's going to be a little bit shorter, so give yourself a little more topspin here to allow that ball to drop down in the court and get it in. After we're done with our ground strokes, I want to focus on our net play next. So how this will work, we'll have one player up at the net here, volleying, taking that ball out of the air. Partner will be back at the baseline, letting that ball bounce, hitting ground strokes. When we're the player at the net, focus on keeping the racket out in front, short swings. Just like we talked about with the warm-up, try to get those volleys deep in the court here. If we're leaving that ball short on our volleys, that's going to set up our opponent to put that ball away, and we're going to be a sitting duck up at that net. So think about depth on our volleys, push our opponent back so they can't hurt us. Likewise, if we're at the baseline here, good target to hit to is going to be low at the net player's feet. So think about getting lots of topspin here so that ball's dropping down, forcing our opponent to get down and get underneath that ball. When they're hitting a low volley, they're going to have to get that ball up and over the net so that ball will sit up higher and it'll allow you to be more aggressive on your next shot. The last drill we're going to do here for our singles practice is going to be super simple. It's just going to be serving and returning. So if I'm here, I'm going to start off serving. My partner will be returning that ball back. All we're going to do, I'll hit a serve, my partner will return it back, and we won't play that point out. So just 2 shots here. Same thing I've been saying, practice with a purpose here. So if you're serving, pick something to work on. Say, I want to work on my kick serve to my opponent's backhand on the tee here, and really work on that. Likewise, if you're returning, give yourself a target. Say, I want to hit the ball deep in the court 10 times here. Practice with that purpose, and you're going to notice the results. After I'm done serving, I'll go ahead and switch with my partner there. So they'll serve to me, and then I'll return. After we get done with the serves and returns, I want to go in to some baseline games here. So instead of serving, all we're going to do is start in the middle. I'll drop feed the ball in, and we'll play the point out and see who wins. There's tons of different variations to this game, but one I really like is called 31. It's a little different, the scoring, but it encourages us to play safe and not make stupid mistakes. So when we're playing, scoring goes like this. If you hit a winner, you get 3 points. If you make a net error and you hit that ball into the net, your opponent gets 2 points. And if you make a mistake in the alleys or deep, your opponent gets 1 point. So this is encouraging us to not hit that ball in the net, give ourselves some height, and when we get those opportunities, we're going to want to try to go to those 3-point shots and try to hit a winner and get those 3 points. The name 31 comes from the game is over when one person gets 31 points. So that's a good variation to encourage you to get some height over the net and be a little more aggressive when we're playing singles. Singles is a game of percentages. If you look at singles matches, most of the time the person that's winning isn't hitting the most winners, but making less mistakes than their opponent. So when we're practicing all of these drills, focus on being consistent. That doesn't mean we want to be safe, shorten our swing, and bunt that ball into the court, but give yourself lots of spin and big targets and work on cutting down on those errors. If you start to do that, you're going to notice a lot more results and you're going to be putting yourself in a position to win more often. That doesn't guarantee that we're gonna win, but the best thing we can do is put ourselves in that position to win singles matches. Thank you everybody for watching, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.